Why don't you, I don't know if you sent me an email. You're more than welcome to send me an email and outline your company and what the scope of what it is you do, and then I'll review that. And if I have a reason to give you a call back right away, I will. Otherwise, I'll put it in the folder.
The just send me your information is one of the most common sales objections because it's extremely effective at getting calls from salespeople to end immediately without the prospect or the gatekeeper having to be rude. And when you hear this, while it might sound like the prospect has a little bit of interest, 90% of the time they are just blowing you off and they have no intentions of even looking at the information that you send over. With that, one of the worst ways to respond to this objection is to comply by letting the call end and then spending 20 minutes of your valuable time putting together the most beautiful email that you can send over to the prospect, which they will likely immediately delete without reading. What we recommend that you do is deflect this objection to bounce off of it and keep the conversation going and get away from the prospect's request for you to send over your information. Now, I'm going to show you exact objection responses that you can copy and use to deflect the just send me your information objection. In order to create the objection responses that I'm going to show you, I had to create a sales message. And for that, we have a sales message brainstorming process that I'm not going to show you in this video, but I've gone through this process for my own product, which is the Smart Sales System. And I went through these steps to create these talking points and these questions. And this sales message and these sets of bullet points gives us what we refer to as building blocks. And you can then use those building blocks to create your cold call script. And the same blocks that you use to create your cold call script, you can also use those for your objection responses, because when we're deflecting objections, we're just deflecting back to a different part of our cold call script. So actually what I'm showing you here is not additional responses to learn, it's actually learning where to deflect to, where to bounce to in your cold call script when the prospect says, just send me your information. And one of the places that you can deflect to is your pain questions. And you can do that by when the prospect says, tell you what, just send me your information for now. You can respond with, okay, I can certainly do that. So I know what best to send you. Can I ask you real quick, how do you feel about the amount of leads your reps are currently generating? So what I did there is I bounced off of the objection and I'm asking a question to keep the conversation going. At this point, it's most likely the case that the prospect is going to answer this question in some way or another. Now, the answer to the question might not be great, but when they answer your question, you have three different options. You can ask a follow-on question based on the prospect's answer to the question you asked. You can basically ignore their answer and ask a different question. Or if the prospect gave you a good answer, good meaning that things are just okay or not great in the area that you asked about, you can use that as a justification for talking more, and you can skip ahead in your cold call script to try to close the prospect on talking more in the form of trying to set an appointment or schedule a meeting to talk more. You can deflect this objection in the exact same way with your current state questions. These are slightly different questions that just try to ask about what the prospect is doing in the area where you have something to sell. So the prospect says, tell you what, just send me your information for now. Okay, I can certainly do that. So I know what best to send over to you. Can I ask you real quick, are you guys using any type of sales script or sales playbook today? And the process here is the exact same. We're asking a question to deflect and get away from the request to send our information. We're most likely going to get some sort of answer, and then we have those same three different directions we can go based on how the prospect answers. We can also deflect this objection to our sales process. If the prospect is saying, just send me your information, they might be saying that because you're a salesperson and you have a product to sell and they don't need your product today. And they're not in buying mode for the product that you sell today, or they're not looking to buy what you sell today. So their response or objection is, just send me your information. But if your goal is not to sell the product, and if your goal is to sell the conversation or sell the meeting, you can educate the prospect about that process that you're trying to work through in your objection response by saying something like this. If the prospect says, tell you what, we don't need that today, why don't you send me your information and then I'll reach back out to you when we do need that. Hey, listen, I can certainly do that, but I want you to know I'm not trying to sign you guys up or sell you anything right now. Actually, I'm just looking to open the dialogue between our two companies and have an initial conversation. I'd like to learn a little bit more about you, share some information about us. That way, when you're ready to make a change, you can know who we are and how we can help. Are you open to putting a brief first conversation on the calendar? So hopefully those sales objection responses give you some ideas for how you can respond to the objection of just send me your information. Everything I've shown you here today is actually part of a full sales objection handling sales methodology, and we actually have a video on our YouTube channel on the playlist, The Smart Sales System, Sell Smarter Not Harder. It's a video titled Getting Around Sales Objections, and this will provide the full methodology and responses to all of the most common sales objections. So if you like this and you want tips like this for all of the sales objections, I'd encourage you to check out this video, and I'll put a link to this video in the description below. Now, having good responses to the objections that you're likely to face will definitely get you going in the right direction. But if you really want to get to that next level, you have to practice these objection responses so that they're fresh in your mind and you're not having to think when you're on a quick cold call or talking to a prospect. And we provide a tool to help you to practice as much as you want and whenever you want, called Sales Simulator, which allows you to role play with an AI version of a prospect, and you can either cold call the prospect, you can have your call answered by a gatekeeper, or you can practice straight responding to objections. Now, since we're talking about objection responses here, I'm going to show you the objections drill. I'm just going to flip through a few objections real quick and refresh the role play session. But all of the sessions I show you could keep going by continuing to respond, but I'm just going to flip through it real quick just to give you an idea of how it works.
It is too difficult to change.
Hey, I understand, and I'm not trying to sign you guys up, just looking to have a first conversation.
Oh, we are locked in a contract.
Oh, I understand. Who are you guys with?
We are working with Easy Stripe. I am not interested.
Hey, I understand. If I could ask you, are you guys using any type of sales script today?
I am not sure. Just send me your information.
Hey, I can certainly do that so that I know what to send you. Are you guys using any type of sales methodology?
Yes, we are. Is this a sales call?
Well, actually, the reason for the call is we work with businesses and help them to improve their underperforming reps.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you want to try the sales simulator out for yourself, you can actually do that for free with our 7-day free trial, and I'll put a link in the description to where you can sign up for that. And that is pretty much it. If you want more information, the best place to go is salescriptor.com. Thanks for being here. Hope this was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.